Our next question is talking about the price of things right now. As you know, we're paying record prices right now for gas. Everything is more expensive right now, from groceries to cars to houses. So what would you do in Congress to bring those prices down and make things more affordable for everyone in your district? And Sheriff Jones, we'll start with you.
Thank you. This economy is out of control, and there's not only nothing being done at the federal level, there's not even an acknowledgement at that level that there is anything wrong. This has been devastating to families. We need to do three things. First, we need to stop printing more money. The more money you put in circulation, it devalues the dollar and creates the inflation that we've seen. Second, we have to live with our means in the federal government. All of us have to live within a monthly budget. The federal government should be no different. They should stop spending $1 trillion here and $40 billion there. And third, we have to start paying down our national debt. It's not only a burden that we're shifting to the next generation, it is literally rendering us less able to defend ourselves if we were to experience a national emergency. And it's worth saying that we should be diligent to avoid new fees and taxes. I'm the only member or the only candidate on this stage that signs a taxpayer protection pledge that promises not to support any new taxes.
A 30-second follow-up on what exactly would you cut? $40 billion here and there is a lot of money.
It is, but it seems like couch cushion money to the federal government. Look, we have a budget. The federal government should have a budget, and that budget should be sacrosanct. We shouldn't just be able to decide that something is more important than our budget. If we add $40 billion somewhere that we believe is important as a country, then we need to cut $40 billion somewhere else. And let me tell you, there's a lot to cut in there. Bureaucracy is the enemy of democracy. We need to cut out the democracy, and we can find bureaucracy and find as much money as we need for the things that are truly important to this country.
Dr. Jones?
I 100% agree. I feel as if from the grocery store to the gas pump, we have a lot of families that are struggling. I have patients that are trying to decide between buying medications or buying gas. This is hitting the middle class all too hard. I feel that there are three things that the federal government can do, and this is what I would do when I serve in Congress. If it's not already passed, I would pass the America Competes Act. We need to bring our supply chains back home. They need to stop going through Asia and China and these other unstable countries. 70% of our chips are made overseas, so if there's a problem in China, that affects us here. I mean, I do understand that we put a lot of money in the economy during COVID, but there's inflation in Europe, there's inflation in India. This isn't just an American problem, it's a supply chain problem. Second thing we need to do is we need to actually consider pausing the gas tax. That's 75 to 80 cents at the state and federal level. Various Democrats and Republicans have advocated for that. That's money that needs to be in people's pockets and not in the coffers of the federal government.
Assemblymember Kiley, you've talked a lot about the gas tax.
Well, inflation is a huge tax on every American family brought to us by the Biden administration, and people are really feeling the pain, especially when it comes to these outrageous gas prices. The cause is no great mystery. It's this out-of-control spending. The federal government has run deficits of nearly $6 trillion over the last couple of years. We're just printing money. And so the solution is pretty simple. It's to stop doing that, stop new spending, bring the federal budget to manageable size, and that includes eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse, which is absolutely rampant. Secondly, we need to roll back regulations because that raises the cost of doing business, and those costs are passed on to consumers. Third, we need to make America energy independent, and that starts by completing the Keystone Pipeline. And fourth, we need to reactivate our workforce so small businesses can get staffed up, can have normal hours, and we can have a fully functioning economy again. I have been leading the fight to suspend the gas tax. I'm glad that Mr. Jones supports that proposal. It's why I'm endorsed by the Howard Jarvis Taxpayer Association, PAC. That's the approach I'm going to take as a member of Congress to bring immediate change and immediate relief to American families.
And a 30-second follow-up for you as well, talking about if you're going to roll back regulations. A lot of those are designed to protect air and water and a lot of different things. So what regulations would you roll back?
Well, I mean, I can't name every single one because there are probably hundreds or thousands of them. We saw in the previous administration, they rolled back regulations every day, and it led to the greatest economy that we've ever had. I've seen here in California how the regulations that we have on every industry absolutely put a stranglehold on our economy. That's why people are leaving California in record numbers. That's why businesses are leaving California in record numbers. That's why we've had the highest unemployment rate, and it's a big reason we have the highest level of poverty. So rolling back regulations across the board is going to be a key priority for the next Congress.